Okay, we're back on. I want to ask you, what music do you listen to today?
What music do I listen to? It goes back to when I was raised in Washington, D.C. My dad would take me to see the National Symphony Orchestra when they would give free concerts. And then all the service orchestras would give free concerts. The Marine Band, the Air Force Band, the Navy Band. And he would always take me to see, these concerts. And I don't know if he was consciously doing it, but I recall him one time saying, don't put, because music excited him. He said, don't ever put any type of music down. Don't stop listening to it until your heart hears it. Because there may be something in there. You say, I don't like classical music. Well, have you really listened to it too much? If you listen to it and really pay attention, there may be something in there you like. And so I love all type of music. One of the highlights of my life was seeing Jascha Heifetz in concert. Just him and Emmanuel Bay, his pianist. I can see it and hear it like it was yesterday. The total awe of the audience. And I was up in New York doing the Grammy Awards, the Lifetime Achievement. And I'm very shy. I'm a shy person, especially to be in the business I'm in. When I'm on stage and I'm doing all my goofy stuff, that's one thing. But one-on-one, I'm a shy person. I very seldom, if ever, walk up to someone and introduce myself that I want to meet. But up in New York, we were doing the Lifetime Grammy Achievement Awards, and I walked by the makeup room, and Itzhak Perlman was sitting in the chair, and I could not pass it by. And I walked in, and I said, I don't want to interrupt you, Mr. Perlman, but I just had to say hello and meet you. I'm Roy Clark, and I stuck my hand out. He stuck his, he says, I know you. You're a fiddle player, too. Blew me completely away that he would know who I was, plus the fact somewhere he has seen or heard me scratch on a fiddle. But I know you. You're a fiddle player, too. Incredible.
What do you think is your greatest career achievement?
Hopefully it has not happened yet. But that's a cop-out in a way. I don't know, there's been so many. Playing for royalty, we played for, the Princess of Monaco.
Mrs. Grace?
No, the daughter.
Stephanie?
The other daughter. Yes. Anyway, it was her 21st birthday. And we were in Monaco doing a concert. And the Oak Ridge boys and I went down to her table. It was all set up, had to be cleared. That, bodyguards all around and stuff. And sang Happy Birthday. That's pretty heavy for a guy from Virginia that I'm not proud to say, but didn't finish high school because music got in the way, and I went off playing music instead of. I went up to my last 3 months of high school and got an offer of a job and just went on. But, played all over the world, played all over Europe, all over the Far East, played in the Soviet Union in 1976. The most foreign place I'd ever been, in January, when it snowed every day and it was overcast and gray. And then went back in 1986 when it was then it became Russia, and instead of the USSR. And the paper, the Pravda newspaper, said And the embassy over there, our embassy, told us that we would know in our lifetime the good that we did, because we brought the two sides together. They would try to make arrangements with the Soviets for a meeting and could never get together, could never get them on the phone. Well, they all came out to our concerts and met each other, and he said, "Ivan, I've been trying to get a hold of you." "Well, I'll see you Monday at 1 o'clock. We'll have lunch and discuss." So because of our concert, they got together. And he says, "You'll never know in your lifetime the good that you did on your trip over here. To think that you were even part of something like that, that could affect the world. You can't dwell on it and let it become bigger than it really is. You're just a small piece of sand in a beach somewhere, but still you're accepted, and there is some good done. So going to the Far East, playing in Thailand and Japan and Guam and Philippines, and they know who you are. The one thing they did do is the Voice of America did, the Soviets, when we went in '76, didn't no longer block the Voice of America from getting in. So by the time that we got there, you would have thought Elvis was coming. And so they may not have heard of me before, but they sure did because of the Voice of America before we left. Or they'd come to the train station and bring flowers and candy and cheer us on and wave, and quite an experience.
Any regrets in your career?
That I didn't work hard enough at it. Things that have happened to me, all the great things, all the good things happened to me, happened because of others. Now, I made myself available, and I was always there to do, but I didn't push it. I wasn't aggressive enough to seek it out. Like if I had the get up and go that my father had, oh Lord, I'd have been an incredible big star, because he did whatever it took to support his family and to make a living. He worked three jobs at one time. He worked all day at the Navy Yard building periscopes, lenses in the optical shop for submarines. Then when he got through, he went to a grocery store and stacked groceries. He didn't get much money, hardly if any at all, but he got leftover food that was still good, but not good enough to put in the like the meat case. The meat had turned maybe just a little darker. Still perfectly good, but they couldn't offer it to the public. Well, he got choices of that, and all the fruits and vegetables that he wanted. Then he had his guitar in the trunk of his car, and he went out and played a square dance that night. I didn't have that kind of drive. So my regret is that I didn't work hard enough of being available. And instead of me seeking out people who may need something that I had, I let them seek me out. And by word of mouth, it finally got around, and more people asked about me, more people wanted me to do different things. And I'm not regretting the success I've had. It's been incredible. But my one regret is I should have put more into it to match what I got.
What are your favorite songs to play?
Well, going back to all the songs that I was subjected to in youth, any song that says something, I love lyrics. Songs that tell stories, and I love beautiful melodies. And if you go back through my recorded career, you'll notice that most of the things that I recorded were not what you call country tunes. They were beautiful tunes or good tunes, songs that I like to do. If the song touched me, I felt I could do my best. If it was a song that they said you should do this because it will be accepted by more people, but I didn't necessarily catch on to it, I just couldn't do it. I sometimes did on the insistence of the producer, but I can hear it, and I can hear that I'm not into it. Now maybe you couldn't because you don't really know, what I'm trying to portray, where I can hear it, but hopefully the public can't.
Do you think that there's a song out there that exemplifies you?
And here's a funny thing. I have been able to record some of the greatest songs written by some of the world's greatest producers or songwriters. But the one that I'm most identified by is Thank God in Greyhound You're Gone, which is a little tongue-in-cheek kind of song. But Yesterday When I Was Young, written by Charles Aznavour, it's a French song that was translated into English. And some great songs that weren't necessarily hits. But I can play for you and say, this is me. This is the kind of music that I love. This is about as good as I can do it. And I can stand back and I have no excuses. I hope you like it, but if you don't, I can't do it much better than that. But there are so many songs out there and so many great songwriters that I relied on them to supply me with material. And I never insisted that I get half writers. A lot of artists, said, well, I'll record your song, but I want half publishing and half writers. I couldn't do that. I didn't write the song. I didn't half write it. He wrote it. It's his song. I'm just fortunate that he brought it to me to record. And I hope I do it justice. It's another reason that a lot of them felt comfortable of coming to me with their songs. Said, well, Roy won't insist in getting half writers. And that was almost the standard for a long period of time. That to get an artist to do your song, you had to give him half publishing and half writers. I just never felt comfortable doing that.
How would you like to be remembered?
That's hard. I think that they can see through all the stuff that I've done and say, he was a good old boy. And I am a good old boy. And the reason I say that is because I think good thoughts. I don't envy anyone else. I'm glad for other people and their success. I'm just a nice guy. I'd like to have me for a friend. And I don't mean that egotistical. I'm just easy. A lot of people will interpret that saying, he don't know a whole lot. He's pretty dumb. But there's a solace in that dumbness, and a happiness. It's hard to be irritable and hard to get along with. If you think about it, to dislike someone, you've got to spend a lot of time trying to figure out why you don't like them. And if you think too hard, there's no reason. If you just leave it open, you like them. There's no reason not to. It's like it's easier to smile than it is to frown. It takes more muscles in your face to frown than it does to smile. And that's just the way I am. I don't take credit for it either. It's the way I was raised. It's the way I was brought up. It's the way that my family is. My brothers and sisters are we're all just as close now as we were when we were all living at home. Have family reunions, and I'm just Roy. I'm no big guy. In fact, I was just on television here not too long ago, and I called my brother and I said, "Well, did you see me on television?" He said, "No, there was a good fight on." So that's how important I am to my professional life is to my family. They'll watch me if there's nothing better. Well, they've seen me before.
Well, thank you so, so much for sharing your story with us.
Oh, well, bless your hearts. It's great for me to be that you would want to come and spend your time with me.